I know you. I know you.
Shut up. Shut up.
I know you.
Ain't no mystery about history.
I know you though.
Man,
I know you
get
though.
your-
I know you though. I know.
Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas, his going to prison.
I said a while ago when T.I.'s son King was getting a lot of flack and a lot of heat in the media, that to me he just looked like a young kid that wanted to prove to his father that he was a man.
King Harris's world flipped upside down for the second time when Tiny finally served T.I. those divorce papers, and she did it right after King's reckless arrest blew up the internet. The craziest part, T.I. didn't even fight it. He just let it happen. Now, the family that once looked unshakable is falling apart for the whole world to see. Fans and critics are pointing fingers everywhere. Some say Tiny and Tip spoiled King so much that he never learned discipline, while others believe King threw away everything just to play the street tough guy. From the outside, seeing Tiny and T.I. split is shocking. They've been through decades of love, kids, and public drama. But according to insiders, the cracks had been there for years, and the breaking point came in October 2024. That's when King's arrest threw the whole family under the spotlight and dragged all their hidden issues into the open. It all started at a gas station when King pulled up in his BMW, driving wild like he had nothing to lose, nearly colliding with a police cruiser. And to make matters worse, the timing couldn't have been more disastrous. When the cops pulled him over, the first thing that hit them was the strong smell of weed pouring out of the car.
Alright, I need you to step out the vehicle.
What you want to do? You want to take my gun off my head?
Yes, sir.
Just one in the head.
Does your buddy have one as well?
Just guns on her.
Alright, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this. I don't want any accidental fires.
There's no safety. You gotta take.
There's no safety.
Just take
Okay.
the clip out.
Well, I'm not gonna mess around with that too much. Let me just set this down right here. You'd step out for me. Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for me. Alright, right now you're just being detained. You're not under arrest.
Are you straight? Where's your final at?
I'm gonna be at the church. Alright, I appreciate you being cool, man. We're just gonna take a look at this information, make sure it's valid.
I ain't sure of this.
Just take a step to the side for me.
And then came the moment that flipped everything on its head. The cops spotted a gun tucked right in King's waistband. That wasn't just reckless anymore. That was the kind of mistake that could end a career before it even gets started. The officers grabbed the gun, slapped the cuffs on him right there, and ran his name. That's when the real trouble came to light. Turns out, King wasn't dealing with just one bad night. He had a whole storm waiting to hit. An active warrant from 2022 popped up, tied to a string of charges: speeding, driving with a suspended license, even a DUI. All the things he thought he'd left behind came crashing back at the worst possible time. If King had stayed cool that night, maybe he could have walked away with just a citation. But instead, years of reckless choices caught up to him in one brutal moment. And once the arrest footage hit the internet, social media went savage. Fans roasted him, critics dragged him, and haters called him a spoiled kid trying to play gangster while throwing away a life most people could only dream of, all for clout. What really shocked people, though, was how different King looked in that leaked video. Gone was the loud, cocky persona we always see online. In that 30-minute clip, you could actually see it in his eyes, like the weight of reality had finally smacked him in the face.
Hitting me and getting in my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay? I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas, his going to prison. If you got to keep that up, his going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had that conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly.
Regret. No yelling, no flexing. He just sat there quietly, almost humbled, like he finally realized the only way to slow down this train wreck was to sit still and cooperate. For King, that was shocking. We're used to seeing him act untouchable in public. Even the cops who cuffed him seemed low-key surprised at how calm he stayed the whole time. But let's be honest, it didn't change the outcome. They still booked him at DB County Jail, then transferred him to Pickens as soon as that old warrant popped up. By the time the arrest footage leaked online, the internet had already started tearing him apart. One viral comment called him a trust fund prison punk, and the nickname stuck. Another roasted him for hiding behind his parents' fortune while pretending he came from the streets. Social media had a field day, dragging him like never before. But here's the real twist. King wasn't the only one paying the price. His mess spilled straight into his parents' marriage, blowing open old cracks until the whole thing finally came crashing down.
Stop talking to me. This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. File show. Come back. What? On game what? On game what? Come here. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come here.
T.I. tried to play the part of the heartbroken father, but Tiny was over it. She showed up with paperwork in hand. In her divorce filing, she straight up pointed to King's downward spiral as the final straw that pushed her to walk away for good. That's how deep the damage ran. What shocked everyone was that T.I. didn't even fight it. No begging, no last-minute plea to save the marriage, nothing. He just threw up his hands like, I did my part. The rest is on him. And honestly, he wasn't wrong. Because this mess didn't start overnight. Back in 2022, when King first started going viral for his reckless stunts, the cracks in the family were already starting to show.
Antics. Make him look better. He know not true. Silver spoon. I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, Tip used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the fight.
You cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath.
Every day.
I know you. You capping. I know you. I know you. I know you.
Shut up. Shut up.
I know you.
Ain't no mystery about here.
I know you though.
Man,
I know you though.
Shut up.
I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business.
T.I. went online practically begging King to slow down before he ended up behind bars. He even warned Tiny and King's grandmother that their boy was speeding straight toward disaster. But nobody listened, and now here they are. T.I. had been saying for years that someone needed to step in and reel King back before he crashed and burned. And he wasn't just speaking as a dad. He was speaking as someone who had lived that life, done the time, and paid the price. He knew exactly how dark that road could get and didn't want to see his son repeat his mistakes. But Tiny wasn't about to let him off the hook. In court, she turned his own words against him, arguing that T.I. failed to be the strict, present father King needed. She claimed that if he had stepped up more, maybe their son wouldn't have spiraled so far out of control, and to be fair, she had a point. T.I. had been in and out of prison since the moment Tiny found out she was pregnant, leaving King to grow up without a steady father figure. Even after he finally came home for good, things didn't improve much. Word is, he often sent King to live with his grandmother instead of keeping him close. King himself once admitted that, despite his parents' wealth, he never really experienced it. He said his real life was at his grandmother's house. The mansion only came into the picture when the cameras were rolling for the family's reality show. Imagine that, being treated like a guest in your own parents' home, only welcomed in when it was time to play the picture-perfect family for TV. With a start like that, it's not hard to see why King went searching for validation and excitement in the streets. But every reckless move dragged him further down the wrong path. One of the clearest signs of how far he had fallen came during that infamous Waffle House meltdown in 2022.
So motherfucking 12 pull up and they say, hey, who do you belong to? Who raised their hand? Somebody got to raise their hand.
I've been seeing him around too here a lot.
You gonna raise your own hand?
I've been seeing him around too.
Huh?
But when you got drugs, it ain't lame. I know that.
Y'all got drugs around those legal guns.
That called
It's not legal.
possession of a firearm and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All because a worker accidentally added pickles to his order. King completely snapped. Instead of letting it slide, he went off on the employee, shouting across the counter while filming the whole scene, then proudly posted it online like it was some kind of flex. But the stunt backfired. Instead of coming off tough, the clip made him look like a spoiled kid, throwing a tantrum over a sandwich. Fans immediately started questioning why T.I. was letting his son run wild without any real discipline. When T.I. later posted a video warning King to get his act together, Tiny wasn't having it. In her eyes, all that tough love should have started years ago, back when King was still young enough to be steered in the right direction. Not now, when the damage was already done.
He just became a father, so I got 2 grandchildren now.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, I got 2 granddaughters. I got a grandson on the way.
Wow.
King's about to have a son.
King's about to have a son. Congrats.
Yeah. And I told him I'm gonna make this the greatest gangster of all times. I will raise this child to torture you the way that you tortured me. I promise you, there will be an indictment in this young one.
Things cooled down for a bit, but T.I.'s disappointment kept simmering beneath the surface. It all finally boiled over during a heated father-son argument right in front of a crowd. And it didn't stop at words. The tension spiked when King tried to call out how he supposedly grew up rough, despite coming from a famous, well-off family. That set T.I. off instantly. He clapped back, reminding King that he'd had a silver spoon in his mouth since day one. But King wasn't backing down. Before anyone could step in, he swung at his own father. The shocking moment was caught on video, and within hours the clip went viral. Online, opinions split fast. Some praised T.I. for finally standing his ground, posting things like, "That discipline was long overdue. If you don't check them early, they'll turn on you later." Others just shook their heads and wrote, "King's out of control. Pray for that family."
People hit me up like, King, I know you tired. You ain't getting no sleep. And the truth be told, before this look, I ain't been getting no sleep. You know what I'm saying? I just been outside working, lifestyle. You know, lifestyle just lifing. You know what I'm saying? And, but now I'm damn sure not getting no sleep. This up every morning, and then around the morning time, he like to do that little live concert I be doing with him. And, he like to walk around the house. So,
while the internet was busy siding with T.I., Tiny was fuming. To her, he hadn't just disciplined King, he'd humiliated their son in front of the whole world. And when she came home to find out T.I. had literally kicked King out of the house, forcing him to fend for himself, that was the breaking point. Tiny felt he'd gone way too far, and the fallout cracked their marriage even deeper, pushing her to the edge of walking away for good. But that wasn't the only burden Tiny was carrying. In her divorce papers, she laid it all out. Years of T.I.'s cheating, his violent temper, and the empty promises that he'd finally change. She claimed she had stood by him through betrayal after betrayal, only to watch him spin lies while maintaining his tough guy image. By the time King began spiraling into his own chaos, Tiny wasn't just angry at her son. She was looking at the man who raised him and realizing the cycle had never been broken. That's why she finally filed for divorce. What cut her the deepest was watching King mirror his father's worst mistakes, chasing clout, running into trouble with the law, and wearing his recklessness like a badge of honor. So when T.I. turned his back on King after the arrest, Tiny snapped. Because to her, he wasn't just giving up on his son, he was turning away from his own reflection. The saddest part, King seemed desperate for his father's approval, out here flexing guns and moving recklessly as if a rap sheet was proof he was worthy of respect. After that arrest footage leaked, some people online even claimed King had set himself up on purpose, that he wanted to prove he was really cut from the street cloth. Fans said he had finally earned the stripes he'd been chasing all along. But others believe it wasn't about the streets at all, it was about T.I., and that every wild stunt King pulled was just a desperate cry for his father's respect. And judging by how things turned out, maybe they weren't wrong. Remember that viral clip where T.I. and Boozy had to step in and check their sons on camera? King and Boozy's boy, Tootie Raw, were supposed to be shooting a music video, but instead, they were busy flashing guns like it was an audition for the trap. That's when the dad stormed in, and you could hear the anger in T.I.'s voice as he grilled King, demanding to know why he was so obsessed with looking hard. especially with girls standing right there watching. The whole vibe flipped instantly into a full-on lecture. T.I. didn't sugarcoat a thing. He laid it out plain. One wrong move with those guns, and their lives could be over just like that. Both T.I. and Boosie were serious, and the look on their faces showed they weren't just putting on a show for the cameras. This was about saving their sons before it was too late. On the surface, it looked like T.I. was finally trying to reach King, to steer him away from disaster. But when Tiny caught wind of it, she was furious. Not because she supported King's reckless behavior, but because she felt T.I. was once again airing out their son's dirt in front of the world. And to her, it was pure hypocrisy, because King wasn't doing anything he hadn't already seen his father do back in the day. If the gun flashing didn't break Tiny, what really pushed her over the edge was the baby mama drama. Out of nowhere, T.I. casually dropped the bomb on a podcast that he was about to be a grandfather again because King had a baby on the way. Tiny was blindsided. To her, it sounded less like concern and more like T.I. was low-key celebrating King's reckless choices instead of calling them out. And then the whisper started. Rumors spread that King's baby mama, Big Nana, was much older than him. Some even speculated she only locked in with King to secure the bag, claiming he was too young and naive to see what was really going on. But King didn't seem to care. He was hyped about fatherhood, bragging nonstop on social media. When his baby was born in November 2024, King was over the moon. He posted every chance he got, showing off his new role and acting like nothing else in the world mattered but his little one. He even dropped a track called Dear Son, rapping about stepping up as a dad, captioning the post, November 5th, 8:09 a.m. Welcome King Jr. time to take over. For a moment, it looked like he was finally ready to grow up. Fatherhood seemed to mellow him out, and for Tiny, that felt like the silver lining. Watching her son try to break the cycle and become the kind of father T.I. hadn't been when King was growing up. But reality hit fast. While King was online flexing as a proud dad, his arrest video was still circulating everywhere, dragging his name through the mud. The world didn't see growth. They saw a reckless kid pretending he had changed while his downfall was trending on every platform. T.I. tried to stand by his son, but the disappointment kept slipping through the cracks. And for Tiny, that cut deep. She might have forgiven the cheating, the scandals, even the fights. But knowing that T.I. was so ashamed of King that he didn't even want to live under the same roof as him, that shattered her completely. So when those divorce papers hit the table, nobody was shocked. It was the final nail in a marriage that had been crumbling for years. Tiny had reached her breaking point. She was done covering, done protecting, done saving face. Now it's all on T.I. Does he finally step up and fight to fix what's left of his family? Or does he keep the same silence he showed with King? Because at this point, his silence might mean the whole family is already lost. What do you think? Is this truly the end for T.I. and Tiny? Or is there still a chance they can bounce back from the chaos? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.